What's happening, guys? It's Weds with another Outriders WorldSLAYER video, and today we're gonna talk about a build that can destroy bosses very fast. And if you're a Pyromancer, you need to try this build. This is very good. So without further ado, let's go first and show you the armor and weapons that we are using. So first thing first, the weapon that I'm using, this is my go-to gun whenever I am using the Pyromancer. So this is a very good gun. The reason why this gun is so good is because it's got armor pierce. Basically, any weapon with armor pierce that can shoot a lot of ammo is very good. Simple reason is because resistance pierce is meta right now. So we need to get a lot of anomaly power, and with certain mods that we have in the build, this is going to allow us to do a lot of damage. So make sure you get one of those. But the perks that you need, I mean the mods, is Mage's Rage, and then any other perk that can give you some big boss damage. But the most important is Mage's Rage, because critical shots give you 10% anomaly for 15 seconds. It stacks up to 4 times. That's a 40% anomaly power every time you get 4 crit shots, and you're gonna have some big damage. And for secondary weapon, I like to use the Death Shield because it's got some of the better mods in the game: Fortress, Firestorm, and Mage's Rage. Ideally, you want this gun to have those mods that we have down there: Mage's Rage, Fortress, and Firestorm, or another big damage mod. So, but we use this to kill ads and sometimes to stay alive a lot of time because of Fortress. So if you have this, you should be good to go. And as far as the pistol, it's whatever. And now for the armor that we are using the 3-piece of Lava Lick, or Lava Lich, however you want to say that, because this is the set that we are using, because the set bonus give you increased damage of eruption by 100%, and it decrease your cooldown by 30%. Because of this, we can do some big boss damage, and you'll see that in the gameplay. This is very good, and you need to try this out. So we're using the 3-piece. It doesn't have to be from helmet, chest, and robes. It's whatever you have. So this is the helmet that I'm using, the Helm of the Martyr. The reason why I'm using that, because it got some good mods, and also it's got some good stats: anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and status power. And this is exactly what we need, because this set does not have a lot of cooldown reduction, and you need those to get your cooldown as low as possible. So that's why we are using that. But for the mods that we add on there, we add Magma Coat. That's the one we add. It already came with Ashen Boost, which is one of the very good mod that you can use in the build. And then it also came with Untamed Power. Untamed Power is a very low profile mod that people don't really use, but it is very good. Now if you look at on the end sheet of the expedition that I just completed, you'll see that Untamed Power did a lot of damage. So if you can have this, make sure you have it. It is very good, but you don't have to go out of your way to get it anyway. And for the chest piece, we are using a regular one because we don't have one of the Apocalypse one yet, but it is still good because it came with Giga Blast. Giga Blast is really good. As you can see, you increase your skill radius by 100%. Very good. And then we added Death Sentence on that. Death Sentence is really a very good mod, and I would also said it's kind of mandatory for the build because we are using Ash Blast. But if you don't have it, you can still go without it. You'll be fine. But make sure you have this on there. If you don't have anything else, make sure you have that on there. And now for our robe, we are using Improved Damage, Pompeii, and then it came with Plate Piercer, which is basically a dead mod in my opinion. But sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But it is what it is. But the one that I add on there is Pompeii. As you can see, you can activate your skill one more time. This is very good. You will see that we can spam our eruption and then do some of those big damage, kill a lot of ads with that. That's why this is so good. So make sure you have that on there. And then for our gloves, we have Etna on there. It came with Etna. And then we add Increased Duration. Unfortunately, it came with Pants on Fire. We could have done better, but this is what it came with. And we're using Overheat, so we can take advantage of that. That is very good. But Increased Duration is a very good mod for the build. So if you can get that on there, make sure you put that on there. Now, Etna is very crucial for the build, because even if you don't have Pompeii, as long as you have Etna, that gives you the second eruption. But because we have Pompeii and Etna, that give us 3 eruption that we can spam, and they are on very low cooldown because of the bonus of the set. So that's what we got for that one. And then for the boots, we are using an Ikari boot simply because it came with the mods that we want. It came with Master Consumer and also came with Unstoppable Force, and all we had to do is just no resistance against the 45, which is what makes this build work, because we get that resistance piercing by 100% over armor piercing. Now if I show you this stat sheets, you can see that our armor piercing is at 31% and our resistance piercing moved to 76%. But depends on the skill that you add on there, then stuff like that, you can get a lot higher. So let's go to the skills. Now for the skill that we're using, if you didn't know by now, you should see that we are using Ash Blast. Makes the build work. The cooldown is not too good, but it is alright for what we do. And then we also have Overheat. And for the third one, we are using Eruption, and Eruption is going to be our main damage dealer for the build. As you can see, at base we got 1 million damage, so every time we shoot that thing we have at least 1 million damage. But with all the buffs and everything, you're going to have 6 million or a lot of millions. Depends on what mods you have and stuff like that. And if you do your thing right, then you can kill boss fast. Anyway, so let's go to the class tree. As far as the class tree is concerned, this is no different from all my previous build. Now, only thing that I change in some of my builds is I add Phoenix Nestling. Now, although this is not necessary, now Phoenix Nestling is a way to give you an extra chance to survive if you happen to die by some ridiculous mistake or some RNG of the game, then you can have that failsafe. But if you don't want to use that, you don't have to, because there's plenty of survivability in the game. I never really had this proc, but it's there for safety. But as far as everything is concerned, just make sure you copy this the way it is, because it works. Now for our PAX Tree, this is what we are using. I don't have to explain anything. I know you can read. You can just go over them and check to see if you like them. Just use them. I know they work. That's why I'm using them. Now for the Ascension Tree, it's whatever you want, but I would prioritize the cooldown reduction, because the set does not have a lot of cooldown reduction. So just prioritize this. If you have enough points, I would say prioritize this. That way you can have your cooldown as low as possible. And then after that, you can just spec to whatever you want. Whether you go to anomaly damage or anomaly power, it's up to you. Or you can add some resistance pierce and stuff like that, so you can get some more resistance pierce for damage. Then you should be fine. Now the next thing is how you play the build. It's the rotation, how this works. Now you can do this in any order you want, as long as it works for you. Just don't worry about it. So I'm just showing you what I do, and it works. Now I'm gonna show you a list of all the mods that you need for the build to make it work. As long as you have the first 10 mods on the list, you should be fine. This is it right here. And there's also an alternate mods list that you can use. Some of the mods are very good, some good for survivability, other ones are good for more damage to your build. So that's the gist of that. Now when it comes to regular rotation, how you use the skills, it really doesn't matter. Just spam whatever. But my number one is just I do Ash Blast, and then I overhit, and then if you want to throw a couple of eruption, you can if you want to destroy the enemy right away, if they big or not. Then you know, that's about it. Now when you are fighting bosses and trying to do big damage, make sure you have your weapon that has Mage's Rage on there. Sometimes I go Ash Blast, overhit, and then eruption, but other times you can just do overhit, Ash Blast, do some damage for crit, and then you can just destroy these dudes right away. No reason to not spam your eruption skill. That's all you got to do, and then you are done. So that's the way you use it. It doesn't matter. As long as you can kill a boss as fast as you want, then you should be fine. Anyway guys, that's all we have for the build. Hopefully you find this informative. Go out there and try it out. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.